morning. How are you? What's your name? Huh? क्या था? Nandita. Okay. Yourself, sir? Uday. Ashok. You were there yesterday? What's your name? Santosh. आप sir? Manikanta. From the old batch? चेहरा दिखाओ. तो घूंघट से बाहर निकल के ना काइंड ऑफ वो फील आ रही है आजकल. किसी का चेहरा देखना है तो घूंघट से बाहर आके देख रहे. Why are we here today? Basically, I mean, I was waiting because some students, they were to decide whether online or offline. Kind of finally they confirmed we would see online kind of. Then I thought we would begin. कुछ dates हैं जो मैं आपको towards the end बताऊंगी. Basically, you know, the purpose of today's workshop is to give you an idea about what are all the different optional subjects we are offering. As most of you know, some of you must have written the exam before. Did you? You have written, you prepared for the main exam? You need not have to actually hide your secrets, because after all, once you are part of the course, then anyway, no, I would extract all the secrets from you, whether you tell, don't tell, etc. Most of you know this, that there are certain papers that make your life, such as your essay paper, your ethics paper, and your optional subjects. You know. In yesterday's workshop, I mean in the last workshop, we had spoken about general studies, etc. So today we are going to talk about the optional papers. And see, as you see the UPSC document, there are more than 20 different options that are given from across the globe, from all the fields that are there. And many of you who come from maybe technical disciplines, engineers here, can I see the hands long stretched? Okay, good. आप लोग BA, very good. Madam? BCom. आप ma'am? MSc Agriculture. Any doctors here? Doctor of Pharmacy, very good. So, when you are coming from different walks of life, it becomes a tricky thing to select which optional you have to take up. And people come up with a long list of criteria on what basis you should be selecting an optional subject. It's like an accidental marriage. Sometimes marriages are planned, sometimes they are accidental. Some accidents are good, some accidents are fatal. Kind of. So it all depends on various criteria based on which you may perhaps pinpointedly identify one optional subject of your choice. But then when you are doing that, you will have to say to yourself, confirm to yourself, this is my lifelong marriage. Not that 2 साल एक subject से किया, 2 साल किसी और subject से किया. Loyalty matters. If you are not loyal to your mate, things will not be so very happy. So that absolute loyalty and faith in that subject is very, very important. See, somehow, keeping aside technical subjects, several social sciences and some of the literature subjects have been doing extremely good at UPSC. So what we do at SOCIN classes is we picked up some subjects that have been doing good. I mean, this is a phrase that needs a lot of explanation, meaning what the meaning of doing good kind of. So we are doing the subjects like anthropology, we have sociology, another popular subject of geography, and regional literature subject, that is Telugu literature. Today you have the workshops on 3 subjects other than the literature subject, so that if you are a novice person, you would want to know what is there in different subjects, the teachers would tell you, and based on which you may perhaps take a decision of which subject you are going to choose. Okay. Be bold in doing that. अब ये भी है कि when you are coming from altogether different kind of a background and trying to choose a new subject, the criteria of choosing, the finally, deciding over it becomes, a trickier thing. And hence, we are trying to provide to you some kind of a glimpse. एक तो ये होगा कि, when you are looking at the subject, that should look attractive to you. So maybe the terminology, or maybe perhaps you may have to flip through some of the books and then see whether it makes sense to you. Above anything else, maybe perhaps whether the people have scored well previously. I think that is the one basic barometer based on which you might be coming down to selecting one particular subject. Okay. So I do not say that take this subject kind of. I generally take, I teach anthropology. Coming to anthropology, I will tell you what are all the things that are there in the subject, so that maybe perhaps my talk would help you in zeroing on which subject you would want to take. Okay. Here there is an issue. The thing is, when I say that I study anthropology, I teach anthropology, as we have seen in this small crowd, we don't have anybody who had studied anthropology. I don't think you have heard of the name anthropology throughout your life. Yeah, am I right? Till you must have decided to write UPSC. And generally, as one of my teachers, one of my professors used to say, that anthropology is living because of UPSC. If UPSC is not there in India, anthropology would have died out. And this not being aware of anthropology is not something unique to countries like India or populations of the kind of India. You might think that, okay, we are maybe an underdeveloped or developing country, and because of which we do not know the things that are new, the things that are really exotic, maybe we do not know because of the kind of backwardness. You need not worry about that. Even in the Western, the most developed countries also, this seems to be something that they have not heard of. I'll give you one story. This is a story of 2018 when Commonwealth Games were being held at where was the last Commonwealth Games? Last Commonwealth Games? Where?
Glasgow.
No, how were they? Glasgow. 2018 Commonwealth. Next Commonwealth कब है? 2022. 2018 were the 4 years में आएगा. 2022, 2018 I am talking about. That was the Commonwealth of Gold Coast, and that was the time I was on a field work in the Queensland province. So I was there at the Gabba Stadium. I was traveling to Gabba Stadium in a bus. So a lady was sitting adjacent to me. Her profile also looked very interesting. Belonging to a Malayan origin, she was married to a German who was settled in London, at that time working in Gold Coast. I mean, it's like, a family that has international connection whatsoever. And this lady was working as a teacher in some school there. So she was, generally women, talk more, kind of, we are talkative people, necessarily or unnecessarily we keep talking. So she started indulging in that, that's a global phenomena. You need not say that that's an Indian phenomena that females talk more, kind of. In anthropology, we have this topic called linguistic anthropology. You have your syllabus document with you in that kit? Kholi, syllabus document kholi. Anthropology. If you don't have the kit with you, share it with the others. So number 7, chapter number 7 reads as linguistic anthropology. There we are going to talk about the nature of gender, specific gender, and how the language, the kind of language you chose. You must have seen in the process of growing up, girls are asked not to say certain things, boys fine, theek hai tum jo kehna hai, kind of a thing. So, I mean, this is one global phenomena that females generally indulge in a lot of talk, or I don't know whether I can classify that as gossip or whatsoever. So she was asking me what I do. I said I teach and I do anthropology. Then she was asking what is anthropology. I was trying to explain to her. Then she said, having studied in London, I did not come across this. I said, the college, the university next to your campus, London School of Economics, is well known globally for the birth of anthropology, then she said, oh, I'm so sorry, it's okay. So if you think that you do not know about anthropology before coming to UPSC, you did not do any kind of a sin. Nevertheless, see, when you were walking into the class, what was there in your mind? What did you want to know from me? What did you want to know from me? If you start shooting your questions, then I can start giving you the info. Basically, there are several list of questions I was trying to. Basically, that's how I look at anthropology, as a springboard to UPSC, from where you can just fly to the pinnacle of the scores. That's how we look at it. Basically, we want to score high, so that's where I place anthropology as. People might think that that is an exaggeration, but after all, we have to blow our own trumpet. That's the classic 21st century fashion. Even if others accept or not, we have to blow our own trumpet, kind of. See, the kind of questions that are popularly asked by students, you may read those questions, and then if at all you have anything else to be added, I would add and I would deal with those questions. I am reading out for you. Who can take this subject? That is $1 million question people always have. How to prepare, meaning whether one can do by oneself or a teacher is a must. What is the layout of the syllabus? How long does it take to complete the syllabus? What should be the strategy, as in which chapters or topics to focus at? What books to study from? And where to start studying, or what is the sequence in which one has to study, and is it important to have pictures and diagrams in the subject? Any other questions? No problem. I keep talking, you can shoot your questions. We would not wait till the end of my talk in order to take your questions, because you have other workshops also, other demos also to roll on today. And I'm given a limited amount of time. Somehow a limited amount of time looks to be a major stumbling block for me, because I belong to the genre of people who love the mic. We cannot leave the mic, we cannot sacrifice the mic for anybody else, so kind of. So we would pick up these questions one after the other. I think I would remove this one so that you focus at me. The first question is, who can take this subject, meaning from which background I should be in order to study this particular subject. See, when you start to study the subject, you will understand at that time that people from different disciplines have come and enriched, contributed, developed this particular subject of anthropology. There were people from geography, many of them came from geography. There were some psychologists, some sociologists, some political scientists, some economists. So you see all kinds of people, they came to this subject for reasons that we would see each one of us have got our own history, our own kind of past, based on which our experiences, and we get exposed to certain people, certain disciplines, certain articles, certain movies based on our condition at that time. See, based on our mood, our likings also change. किसी दिन आप gloomy हो तो sad songs पे मन जाता है, किसी दिन आप खुश हो, सारी दुनिया कुछ भी हो जाए, you are busy listening to your own happy music, kind of. So there were different people who got exposed to this subject because of different reasons. One common reason was isolation. We will be talking about it when we visit different thinkers. In isolation, I don't know what you do when you are all alone. These people, they started studying anthropology. Okay. So when people came from all walks of life and they enriched this subject, so you do not have a core anthropologist who must have studied anthropology in their undergraduation, post-graduation. There are very limited number of such people who are there in this subject. So when the people who invented the subject itself, who contributed to the subject in the beginning itself, they came from different disciplines. People from any walk of life can actually study and excel in this subject. Whatever I am saying, I am keeping in view the fact that you are a beginner in this field, and I have to give you right information to select a subject for yourself. As far as I am concerned, I am very passionately in love with my own subject, and I believe in delivering this passion to my student. Every teacher would have the same thing, but mera passion bada hai, so that is the kind of trumpet that I try to blow to the students. So ye ho gaya. And towards we will be gradually going into that, and there is one major misconception in this particular question. First jo question hai, who can take this subject? There is a major misconception. People think that, aapke paas syllabus document hai to dekhiyega. On page number 2 in your syllabus document, 9.1 onwards. 9.1 onwards. Okay. There are so many terminologies that are given there, and maybe perhaps you can also see on page number 1 things like 1.8 or 1.5. These are the terminologies that might make people take a back step. These are the terminologies which might make people take a back step. But the major concern here is, looking at these terminologies, because I have to tell you what are the gray areas in the discipline first, where people might, might get afraid, might not come forth to take, a decision. That's where I have to focus it. In the later part of, when we meet and when we discuss the course and all that stuff, as a part of the course you will learn these things, but then I have to tell you here that those terminologies have attracted people from life sciences, because they think that, okay, I know this, and you jump with joy. But the major thing that I can say from my experience of about 17 years of teaching anthropology for UPSC, I see that more than 85% of the students I have taught have come from engineering background. Baki 15% you have all kinds of people, whether commerce or various other fields including medicos, etc. And major successes have come from these. Generally hota hi hai, you have good number of people coming from, majority of people coming from one segment, wahin se success bhi zyada percent niklega. That may be a statistical thing also. So something that you will have to understand is, this is not a true biology that you are studying. It is not a true biology that you are studying. Maybe the biology information, knowledge of 10th or 11th grade would be more than sufficient for you to understand the basic concepts there, and then most of it is related to what anthropology has done in that particular field. जैसा कि मानो मैं I'll give you one example. Look at the same syllabus document in chapter 12, paper 1. Chapter, we have things like paternity diagnosis हो गया, या फिर nutritional anthropology. You see in the 12th chapter, first line, nutritional anthropology. There is nothing great about a biological side there. Within the nutritional anthropology, what kind of foods people eat, what would happen if an imbalanced diet is consumed, what happens if more of sugars you are consuming. There are good lot of studies. I'll give you one story. You know Tibetan monks, right? Tibetan monks, the Buddhist monks. What is the way of life? What is the source of their food? No, source of their food. I'm not talking about the location. Vegetarian ho gaya. Basically it is by taking alms, begging whatsoever, taking alms from the people. So generally there has been experienced a huge change in the kind of food that is being offered to the Buddhist monks in the last few years. So there was a change from a more sober kind of a diet to more sugar intensive diet. A lot of sugar juices, in the sense that packaged juices, jisa Fanta Vanta ho gaya, kind of things, aerated juices are being given to them, and a lot of sugary foods are given to them, and because of that there is all of a sudden increase in the obesity, diabetes, and all the kinds of problems because of these heavy weight that they have put on in the last couple of years. This was a study of last year. And this is where nutrition anthropologists are conducting a research in order to understand what had happened to this entire group of people, that there is all of a sudden such kind of disease situation occurring in them. This is what is one of the examples I am talking about. It is not that you would go into the core biological things and you are going to examine the issues. So it is more vibrant kind of a discipline, very, if at all I can use this word, very erotic and exceptionally attractive. The topics and the kind of societies that you might be studying, they may not be existing in the same stage now, but as anthropologists have studied various tribal communities, various village communities, etc., those concepts do not bore you, because there are variety of things. There are variety of things. ऐसा नहीं कि एक ही चीज सारे सब्जेक्ट में पढ़ा जा रहा है. Sometimes you are studying about tribes, sometimes you are studying about village communities, sometimes you are studying about maybe some island populations, and sometimes you are studying about what are the new kinds of diseases that are coming up. You are studying about what the defense forces are doing in order to address the anthropometry related issues. So when you are doing all this, अब ये भी प्रॉब्लम होगा कि आपने ये क्लास अटेंड किया, बाद में 2-3 दिन आपने अटेंड नहीं किया, एंड सडनली यू हैव अपीयर्ड इन द क्लास, यू थिंक दैट इट्स नॉट योर क्लास बिकॉज द टॉपिक्स लुक टू बी सो डिफरेंट, है ना. एंड इट हेल्प्स पीपल हु गेट बोर्ड डूइंग द सेम थिंग फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम. I think that kind of a fatigue is a common thing in the current generations. Don't get me wrong if I have used a wrong statement there. ठीक है, let us go to so take my word that irrespective of the background, as long as you are understanding the concept, because conceptual clarity is something very, very important. When it comes to my explanation to my student, I focus on the concepts. They have to be extremely clear for the student. So for me, concept clarity is the mantra that makes my students capable of handling any kind of question. Because the kind of questions that are being asked in UPSC, irrespective of which optional it is, whether it is general studies or optional, the kind of quality of the questions, the nature of the questions, it has been changing so much. There is, it is not every time direct questions, yahan se yahan tak padha, and then you have learnt it by heart and you are trying to write. Things are not that way. You are to get information from different parts of your syllabus. You have to interlink the content and then try to give it your own style of presentation, and that trend has been occurring in this discipline also, and hence what is important is giving you the concepts with the maximum clarity. एक बार concepts आपके हाथ में हो, you can actually play with the concepts to whatever question. You can tune the question according to your content. ठीक है. फिर हो गया the second question, how to prepare. I mean, whether one can do by oneself or the teacher is a must. I don't think a teacher is a must. I don't think a teacher is a must. Provided you have huge amount of time with you. Not simply this subject, any subject for that matter that you are appearing at UPSC, whether part of general studies or any optional subject whatsoever, provided you have the acumen to understand UPSC. And second thing is, you should have the hell a lot of time with you so that you are able to learn the concepts and present in the manner that is required for the exam. अभी problem time का ही है, otherwise we are not necessary, है ना. And we are here to give you that information, the quality, the kind of clarity that is required for the exam, so that the entire effort is shortened. Basically वो है ना, entire effort is shortened. Otherwise, I remember first time when I was studying anthropology, I gave up my job. I sat for 8 months morning to night, and then I was reading anthropology and nothing else. After having flunked in one main examination because I did not study anthro properly, for the second main examination I left everything, I sat with anthro, other things wo chale gaye, ye aa gaya, and this remained for a lifetime. So that's how things are, you know, you have to see the time that is available, otherwise kind of. So our job is to give you the clarity. अब आप 4 दिन में जो करोगे हम शायद in 1 hour or half an hour we will be able to give you. That's where things are, and we are here to correct your mistakes that you might be doing, putting you through a particular path so that you can get to, and ये है syllabus layout हम अभी बात करेंगे. The third question, I will be as brief as possible so that I won't take a lot of time of yours. आपके हाथ में syllabus है, so I will give you overall understanding of the syllabus. ऐसा नहीं कि pinpointedly we are doing each of the sub-components there, so that it would help you in coming to a conclusion. People must be wondering what this particular field is all about. It actually studies human beings, being a human. Human being is being a human, meaning what you are. We study 2 things here. One is the human being, second one we study is human doing. These 2 are interlinked. You do things because of what you are. Human being is you are being a human, what you are supposed to do, what you can do. That's what we are going to study in this discipline. What you can do technologically, what you can do sociologically, what you can do biologically, what you can do ecologically. So basically what you can do by being a human, and in this subject we are also going to study what is the meaning of being a human. Being human beings, many of us do not know what is the meaning of being human. We are not trying to teach here humanism kind of things, but we are going to tell you what a human ought to be doing in order to prove that you are a human. Don't worry about it. There are certain other parts of your syllabus that attract non-life sciences students. Many people get attracted to this subject because of that. Look at your paper 1 syllabus, chapter 2, 2.3 onwards. Achha, who selected this subject looking at that topic? Who selected this subject looking at those topics? Or you are seeing this for the first time? You are seeing this for the first time? Oh great. Now you won't leave the subject. Because you see, what happens later God knows, but the term marriage itself is so scintillating that you would want to taste it, however bitter the laddu is. You know? So in this discipline we are doing all this sociological stuff also. So the underlying theme of this discipline is to know the meaning of what is human. In the process, sir, to be very simple in my explanation, similar to any other subject in the exam, optional in the exam, you have 2 papers. Each paper you have for 250 marks. Okay. And the broad layout of the syllabus is that each of the paper is divided into 2 sections. 2 sections. See, of late UPSC has not been very strictly following the section wise way of asking questions, but for the purpose of learning the subject and for in order to broadly divide the subject for your convenience of learning, this really helps. So section 1, when we say this caters to the chapters of 1 to 8 in your paper 1, and here chapters 9 to 12. Similarly here you have chapters 1 to 5, here 6 to 9. In the paper 2 you have 9 chapters, paper 1 you have 12 chapters. Now this particular part we call general anthropology and socio-cultural anthropology. General anthropology, because all sorts of things are there. From the entire syllabus, whatever bits and pieces of information is there, that they have dumped in the first section. Apart from that, you have several things looking from your syllabus chapter 2 to chapter 8. Several things are there, they are called socio-cultural anthropology. Okay. And this particular part we call physical or biological anthropology and applied physical anthropology. Applied physical anthropology. When I say physical anthropology, the basic physical anthropology, this caters to something from 9.1 to 9.4. That is the core biological segment, 9.1 to 9.4. The rest of the topics, that is from 9.4 to chapter 12, we call it applied physical anthropology. As you keep learning the subject, you will also be put across which chapters you will have to pick up for scoring better, and where you will have to focus more, kind of things. Let us see in today's talk whether we will be able to do that. And then यहाँ पर है 1.1 to 1.5 in paper 2, we call it generally Indian society. That's a general category we give. But apart from Indian society related things, a part of archaeology is also there. A part of archaeology is also there. But generally we call it Indian society. Are you here? And then the rest of the syllabus we call it tribal anthropology. Now, when I am talking about this, I will also tell you where to start from, etc. as a part of this. Look at your syllabus, chapter 1, paper 1, chapter 1.1. That reads as meaning scope of anthropology. Meaning scope of anthropology. See, though it looks funny, you have heard anthropology name very recently. Without studying the entire subject, you do not know what is the meaning of it. I have just now said that we study humans. But there is much more than that. In human, what to study, how you study, and all that stuff. See, there are big no's, NO-nos, that you are supposed to be cautious about. One big no about this subject is not to start from chapter 1. Because people keep asking me in which order I have to study, from where I have to study, should I do the basics first. The interesting thing is, as I told you, each of these segments look to be distinct in itself. Having a very common source of basics is something that is difficult here. If at all anything is basic, that will be anthropological theory. You can look at your syllabus, chapter 6, paper 1. In chapter 6, paper 1, you have something called anthropological thought or anthropological theories. That forms the basic of the discipline. So, if at all somebody would want to do the basics first, you should be doing anthropological theory first. Then you can do the rest of the things, but never start from chapter 1. And you can do in a crisscross manner. That is the beauty. You may perhaps start with thought, or you may perhaps start with tribal studies. You may perhaps start here, you may perhaps start here. Anywhere you can start studying, but you should not start from chapter 1. That you should do once you finish the entire syllabus. Okay. But generally I advise the students to do with anthropological theory first in order to get a grip of the subject. Because every other thing, whether it is biological anthro, whether it is Indian society or tribal studies, everything emerges from how the discipline has originated. Anthropological theory tells you how the discipline originated, who were the first thinkers, next thinkers, what did they do, how the discipline spread. So, because of that, that may be my advice for you to begin with. Ye ho gaya. And then, so maybe a little bit more, if I have to talk about 2 more minutes I spend on the syllabus. keep looking into your document. ठीक है, अभी पेपर 1 में you have chapter 1. This we can call general anthropology because that is a collection of entire syllabus. उसमें archaeology भी है, there you have cell biology, there you have various other things. So this is called concept of, basic concepts that are there. This can be called a general anthropology. From the second chapter, what do you see there? It is a composition of some of the concepts that are core to anthropology, like what is culture, what is society, various other things. Apart from that, you also have several institutions. We call them familial institutions. You have their family, marriage, kinship and various other things. ये एक हो गया. You have chapter 3 there in your syllabus that deals with economic institutions of the man, and then you have 4 there which deals with political institutions, 5 there which deals with religion, 6 you have anthropological theory, 7 you have language, 8 you have research methodologies. Here ends your first section. Many people, even after finishing their courses, they do not know the meaning of section 1 and section 2. You should know. Last में जब test लगाएंगे, then people come and ask me what is the meaning of section 1. Is that clear? And in this you are going to study how the society was at some point of time in the past and how it is now, what are the changes that have occurred, how things have changed, kind of things. ये हो गया आपका. And out of these, from where we have to select questions which are more scoring, all that is something that we do in the classroom. अब सभी इधर ही पढ़ाएंगे तो क्लास में क्या पढ़ाएंगे, तो क्लास में भी तो आना है. If you take a scale and measure on the UPSC document, anthropology syllabus is one of the longest syllabus in terms of length in centimeters. ठीक है. But then you also should understand that there is more elaboration of the syllabus. Don't go by the assumption and presumption that longer is the syllabus, difficult it is. It is the other way around. Within your own syllabus, paper 1 and paper 2 has shorter syllabus but trickier one, difficult to convince the examiner. जो लोग कम बोलते हैं difficult to understand, जो लोग मेरी तरह जो बोलते जाते हैं easy to understand actually. There is nothing inside, everything is there outside, है ना. So paper 1, don't get panicky there looking at the length of it. इसमें क्या है, chapter 9 itself is so very diverse. जैसा सेक्शन 1 में फर्स्ट चैप्टर में सब कुछ बताया गया, इन चैप्टर 9 ऑफ सेक्शन ऑफ पेपर 1 देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स दैट आर सेड फ्रॉम 9.4 to 9.8. It has bit of things related to chromosomes and certain things related to ecological studies, certain things related to disease studies, as it is called, epidemiological anthropology as it is called. So diverse things are there, and many of them can be actually finished in a couple of days. If you have properly written the note, you can finish off in less than, if at all you are sitting on one day, morning to evening up by you can actually finish off one chapter from this particular thing. So do not get worried कि हाँ इतना लंबा है kind of. Even when you talk about chromosomal studies, chromosomal aberrations, you would be studying what communities, in which communities there are consanguineous marriage, you understand? Close relative marriages, very common in South India. You marry your cross cousin. No, you have a cross cousin? No? Blessed you are. So cross cousin marriages are very popular in South India. Uncle niece marriages are there. You know uncle niece marriage? One marrying mother's brother No? A girl marrying mother's brother is a very commonality. That looks to be so absurd for other societies. No? In certain communities, you have parallel cousin marriages. That looks to be, blasphemous for you. That looks to be, a sin for you. But then you have to understand that this discipline tries to explain to us the cultural diversity. The basic understanding is that once you study this discipline, you should be able to see the other person from a positive perspective, from an understanding perspective. Why he has done what he has done is something from his perspective you try to understand. That is the basic utility of anthropology. UPSC to hai. Apart from UPSC, the other personality wise utility for you will be that in order to understand the other people in a much better way. So you will be less complaining, you will be more appreciating, more understanding, so that you will have a happy family life, happy married life. So my objective for you is to give you a good family life. UPSC to aayega, theek hai? This is chapter 9. You have 10, that is human growth. Nothing biological again. You would be studying, the growth stages, growth theories, various other things related to that. Basically, you are going to see yourself growing. Purane albums nikalo, dekh kar padho, kind of. And then you have chapter 11. This we call demography. This we call demography. One of the very vibrant topics in anthropology, because from time to time demographic theories are being added, and demographic trends, like how 2021 census year hai, it might be getting delayed a little bit because of the current circumstances, but then whenever census years are in the offing, many questions keep coming from demographic studies. So this is one topic that is very, very important for the upcoming couple of years of exams. Then chapter 12, you have applied physical anthropology. Good lot of interesting things, जैसा कि forensic anthropology हो गया. आप वो देखते हो इंस्पेक्टर प्रद्युम्न वाला? हाँ, CID, हाँ, तेलुगुलो नेरालु गोरालु, नूतन प्रसाद वाइस लो अच्छेदी. So every regional language television, we have our own crime channels, crime time kind of a thing, through which people who do not know how to indulge in a crime will also come to know. There is a knowledge giving out there, and a lot of that kind of kind of a music there, and then with the kind of 007 kind of a thing. A lot of things coming up from the forensic anthropology. This is something on which Government of India has started to work more seriously, the forensic studies, because that is one of the areas that is very, very weak, in spite of having organizations like CCMB who have been doing the genetic studies and DNA fingerprinting studies, etc. We have this one that is slightly on a lag. So this is one area, and several others are there: defense applications, sports applications. So basically, it's all entertainment. Entertainment plus marks, that's what we want. When it comes to your paper 2, if we go a little into detail in paper 2, chapter 1 deals with archaeology. As you can see there, Paleolithic, various other lithic ages, Indus civilization, Bronze Age cultures and all that stuff. Archaeology ho gaya. Chapter 2, very, very important for your entire UPSC preparation, that deals with census related data. As it is read there, demography, population dynamics and things like that. Very, very important. So as you can see, 11 here and 2 here, they belong to the same genre. This is one example I am giving how you should be studying different things together. Say when you are doing 11 in paper 1, 2 in paper 2 should be done together, so that whatever you are learning here can be applied here. Are you there? Similar was the case earlier in the case of archaeology also. In paper 1 you have archaeology, paper 2 you have archaeology, you would bring them together, you would do a comparative study. What you have to understand is entire paper 1 that deals with global anthropology, paper 2 deals with Indian anthropology. So in the global anthropology, whatever concepts and details you are learning, you will apply to the Indian context in paper 2. So that is the best way of learning. When your seniors, your teachers must have told you that there has to be interlinking of the concepts. Interlinking of the concepts, this is what we mean. Even when we do the classes, generally students say, जब आप पढ़ा रहे हो, तो you are distinctively explaining each chapter in its own sphere. But then after the class, after that particular topic, when we discuss the questions, when we take up these questions, I try to interlink the things, and that's where your quality comes into picture, your understanding comes into picture. You should be able to bring those two things together, irrespective of from which field we are talking about. And chapter 3 is something from Hindu social system. This deals with Hindu social system. All those concepts out there, your Purushartha, your Karma, your Dharma and all that stuff, those concepts are learnt here. And linked to this is chapter 5, where you are going to study Indian village, current status, previous status, how villages experience development, what are the problems contemporary village communities are facing. This is one other area. 4 is about how Indian anthropology evolved. How Indian anthropology had evolved. Who were all the thinkers? He did not name any thinkers there. He is only saying contributions of British, American, so and so thinkers, etc. But you will be going in a much detail here. The lesser the syllabus is, more will be the work. That is the basic principle. Then 6 onwards, you have tribal problems. If you could see the syllabus document, there are so many problems that are enumerated there. Poverty, unemployment, underemployment or industrialization, SCSTs, OBC's problems and all that stuff. As you are going down from there, by the time you go to chapter 8, you find how different religions have impacted tribal societies. Then you have topics like communalism, which is a very, very interesting topic in current times. Communalism, regionalism, nationalism, and how we can understand these things with anthropology. This is the syllabus. I finished your syllabus. You can go write the exam. Kind of. This is a cursory look at your syllabus. Now let us see what are the questions people are asking about. How long it will take? We have finished. How long does it take? It depends on how you are going to do. Suppose you are sitting in the class with me, we try to see to it that in a 3.5 to 4 months of time your syllabus is done based on the number of hours that we give in the classroom. Say for example, on a daily basis generally 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. that is the tentative time starting from December 16. That's the date. You don't forget the date, December 16. So if we are starting in December 16, हो गया Jan, Feb, March. ना March end तक आपको complete करना है. Generally, as we go to the later part of the course, we slightly increase your time. है ना? थोड़ा 1/2 घंटा पता नहीं चलता. Starting में 1-1 घंटा बहुत मुश्किल होता है. But gradually, when you get used to taking, the kind of poison kind of a thing, you get used to it, you get addicted to it. So 2.5 को 3 घंटा बनाएंगे kind of, you would be able to finish in about 3.5 months. Now Monday to Friday generally you would be having those classes. What we would do is we explain you the concepts. लिखाएंगे क्लास में. कुछ बच्चों को अच्छा नहीं लगता लिखना, but fortunately or unfortunately UPSC is still asking you to write with your own handwriting. Till the time when UPSC shifts to typed mode of writing, you have to use your hand. And ये हाथ का maximum इस्तेमाल क्लास में होता है. Because you anyway stopped using pen and paper at home, you are mostly typing or using the mobile phone, है ना? So most of your information is there in the form of a soft copy. जितना भी soft copy हो, finally at what speed you are going to write in the exam, and the look of your paper, the feel of your paper, all that comes only by practice. And this thing that you are going to do in the class by physically taking either the dictation, and dictation भी देते हैं, अब इसको ना you don't think that this is a childish kind of a thing, because when so much of information is there, in order to bring the complete information into say 200 words or 300 words, that is a major task. Most of the time what happens is when you go to the exam, especially in this particular paper, optional, when you go to the exam, most of the questions you feel that you know them. Most of the questions you feel that you know them, but the problem is you should know the answer. And even if you know the answer, the ability to write in the shortest possible time, that is a major challenge. So our focus has to be on that. People might say that it is an easy optional. Definitely it is an easy optional to the extent of understanding the concepts. ठीक है, और concepts में भी clarity होना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं कि पुलाव बना रहे उसका, conceptual clarity. And second thing is what kind of examples have to be written at which place. And suppose the same question is asked for 10 marks, 20 marks or 15 marks, how the same question has to be answered at different lengths, that is what should be the focus, and that's where your writing helps. इन सारी चीज़ों का you have about 3.5 to 4 months of classroom thing. फिर one other thing you should remember is that your time depends on, the completion time depends on what amount of homework you are doing, The general principle is that whatever happens on that day, you should be finishing on that day. There should not be a lag. अब ऐसा 100% तो होगा नहीं. Sometime, somewhere there is definitely going to be, because after all it's a human thing, होना ही है. And when in the class lectures etc. we ask you to practice some questions, suppose in the 90 or 100 days of course I have asked you to write down, अगर every day one question भी आप मानकर चलो, तो 90 to 100 questions as a homework I must have given. And out of that maybe perhaps you must have written 50-60% or whatsoever, rest of them are there, they need some time, है ना. Everything put together including your classroom program and your personal back home homework program, that comes to not less than 5 to 5.5 months. That is very clearly genuinely speaking. अब अगर कोई कहता है 1 महीना में पढ़ लिया, I don't know how it would be, है ना, वो होगा नहीं, because I keep getting calls, मुझे 1 month में complete करना है. ठीक है, कर लो. Ultimately whether you are able to get your targeted score or not, that matters. That has to be your objective. 340 plus out of 500. ये हो गया how long, and then what should be the strategy, in which chapters to focus it, ये तो class में करेंगे. कौन से चैप्टर से स्कोर है, कौन से चैप्टर से लेस स्कोर मिलेगा, जो ज़्यादा अट्रैक्टिव है वहाँ स्कोर ज़्यादा नहीं मिलेगा. दैट्स हाउ थिंग्स आर. You generally try spending time on very beautiful things. I don't want to elaborate on that. You try to spend more time on beautiful things that may not give you beautiful result. है ना? So we will be seeing that. Difficult ones, trickier ones are generally attractive to the examiner and you score well there. जैसा कि archaeology हो गया. Maybe perhaps in your history topic you must have done some bit of archaeology, but here you have huge volume of questions that are asked on archaeology. ये दोनों पेपर मिला के 500 marks का है ना? In both the papers you have archaeology. There were exams, आप घर जाकर आराम से देखिएगा when we issue the books etc. Occasionally we find that 150 to 170 marks were asked from archaeology alone. So out of 500, 150 marks is coming from archaeology, meaning that if at all you are not studying archaeology, you better not to go to the exam. And many of the questions come in compulsory questions. So I have given you one tip there, that which is the topic that you will have to focus on, namely archaeology. You have the other ones, what books to study. Books का क्या है ना, बहुत लंबा लिस्ट होता है ना. For subjects like social sciences, especially for subjects like anthropology, because the syllabus comes from different varieties of topics. Fortunately or unfortunately, you don't find the entire syllabus in one or a few books. It is so very diverse, and in the contemporary issues, for example, Kal, I had released one short video on the YouTube on this topic. How can anthropology address the globally prevailing ethnocentrism? This word ethnocentrism you can see in your syllabus, topic 2 in paper 1. 2.1, 2.2 में देखिए paper 1 में you have this topic called ethnocentrism. So the topic that is expected for the upcoming exam, the one that I was discussing there, was how does anthropology help in addressing the globally prevailing ethnocentrism. When such kind of questions are there, you do not find tailor-made details, data at one place. You will have to juggle through various things. So ये दो component होंगे. I had actually, I think a few months back released one video on the reference books for anthropology. I have given whatever are the reference books. कुछ लोग देखकर खुश हुए, कुछ लोग गमगीन हो गए, कुछ लोग they were very upset कि हाँ PhD पढ़ा रहे हो क्या, kind of a thing. But if at all we are talking about excelling in a subject, now you are supposed to do the amount of research that is necessary, but a lot of research I do for your sake. वो list इसलिए दिया गया था कि बच्चे मांग रहे थे we want to study by ourselves, what books to study. I have to be genuine in saying that I do not want to keep the list of books a secret. So if at all we are doing in the classroom, आपका major source of study होगा, आपका major source of study होगा class notes. That is going to be your secret. Class notes अच्छे से लिखना है, ऐसे लिखना जैसे तुमको खुद से प्यार आ जाए. Certain handwritings are there, खुद से घिन आने लगती है. The way we write, my handwriting is more than horrible. But there are a few handwritings that are so beautiful, you should be extremely selfish with yourself. Don't be philanthropic. ऐसे ना chocolate बांट रहे, kind of a thing. Don't spread your thing. आप खुद अपने लिए पढ़ाई करो पहले. Class notes is very important. Class notes is of two types. One is the running note. One is the running note. Whenever I explain concepts, you have to take down all the concepts and whatever discussions that we are doing there. Nothing is out of syllabus in the class. The moment we walk into the class, we stick to your syllabus. आपको लगता होगा कोई एक आध example से कि ये कहीं से निकल आया. That may not be a part of the syllabus, but do not have that kind of a lack of faith. Every example, everything that we discuss is to take you one step closer to your result. Running note के साथ हो गया. As I told you, I will be dictating also. This dictation kind of a notes would help you in writing bigger and smaller questions based on the requirement. In addition to that, I will be giving you set of books. ठीक है? Generally, one book will be there for tribal, one will be there for physical anthropology, one for social Indian society, one for socio-cultural, one archaeology. So minimum 5 books, subject related books honge. One more you would have question and answer related booklet to have a constant looking around into the old papers, etc. So this set will be handed over to you. So generally what you should do is, जब class से आप जाते हो, इसको पढ़ना है, and then related thing you will do from your material. In addition to that, what I do is, whenever I find something very relevant and very recent information that is released, if at all I did not discuss that in the class, I did not incorporate in your printed material, I will share those PDFs or videos so that you can generate some pointers from there and add to your notes. So your source material ends there. Your source material ends there. And you need not worry about इससे ज़्यादा और क्या पढ़ना है. If at all you have to read something, we would do that. I'll show you some general reference books apart from what people generally study. अब मैं थोड़े ही लाई, बाकी वगैरह आपको क्लास में बताएंगे, ये सिर्फ देखने के लिए, ठीक है. You don't worry, the work on this I will be doing. This is one journal actually. There are several journals of this kind. This is one of the basic popular journal called Man in India. This is released quarterly. This is one journal from where questions can be expected for the examination. There are 3 or 4 such journals from where we would be sourcing contemporary information. जैसा कि मानो एक question हो गया, write about the health problems faced by tribal women in central India. ट्राइबल women तक ठीक है, फिर central India भी हो गया. It is not a general tribal population's health problems. You are specifically talking about women, specifically talking about central India. That is the nature of the questions that is coming up these days. Say 3 or 4 years ago, such kind of questions were not there. He used to generally give tribal health problems. आप अपने मन में जो आया वो लिख लिए. But now it is very clearly. So those are the kind of topics which they pick up from books like this. And then जैसा कि people keep studying very outdated books for tribal anthropology. This is one, I mean, if at all you are a senior fellow who is watching online this particular thing, I recommend this particular book, namely Tribal Situation in India, Suresh Singh. Tribal Situation in India, Suresh Singh. This incorporates, very contemporary examples and contemporary case studies from different parts of the country. जैसे Northeast के हो गए, Central Indian हो गए, Western sector kind of. This book has justified the title, The Tribal Situation in India. ठीक है. And then ये मैंने एक बच्चे को पढ़ने दिया था, वो फाड़ के ला लिया, तो फिर मुझे ये करना पड़ा. काइंड ऑफ पीपल आर केयरलेस विथ अदर्स बुक्स. दिस इज वन ऑफ द रिसेंट publications, Impact of Globalization on Tribes. If you go through your syllabus, look at chapter 3 paper 1. Chapter 3 paper 1. Impact of globalization on indigenous economic systems, है ना? And that is the topic that you would study from here. So when I am saying that, you might get wild when I say this, that for a small topic you are asking us to do this stuff. I am not asking you to do this, I am only telling that I am doing this for you. ऐसा नहीं कि कहीं से एक आर्टिकल उठाया पढ़ा और देन आई एम डिक्टेटिंग. इट इज़ नॉट दैट वे. बेसिकली आई बिलीव इन स्टडिंग, आई बिलीविंग इन अपडेटिंग माई ओन information by doing various courses, reading all kinds of stuff, because otherwise I am jobless. I generally live with books only. And then आपका Indian society वाला syllabus है paper 2 में, paper 2 chapter 3 onwards, Indian society. This is the Bible. This is the Bible for that. That is R.K. Sharma, Indian society. R.K. Sharma, Indian society. And if at all, अभी देखो दिसंबर में आपका क्लास शुरू हो रहा है. इससे पहले अगर आपको कुछ पढ़ना है, if at all you have a craving for reading any original book, this one you can read. Not mandatory, but you can read this. ठीक है. जैसे आपका एडमिशन होगा, आपके बुक्स दे देंगे. You can keep studying that, but आपको टाइम लेना है. This is the book that really helps you in understanding, and this is written as if for UPSC alone. Very very interesting updated book. ये थोड़ा पुराना है. Those of you who love small books, कुछ लोग होते हैं जो जितना पतला है वो बेटर है काइंड ऑफ ए थिंग, उनके लिए है. बट एग्जाम पर्सपेक्टिव में ये ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है. ये हो गया इंडियन सोसाइटी, दुबे वाला बुक. इसको साइड में रखिए. कभी कभी ऐसे ना खाते खाते कुछ देख लिया, पढ़ लिया, काइंड ऑफ ए थिंग. There are certain problems, sir, your syllabus talks about in Indian society related issues. Untouchability and scheduled caste problems, they take a major chunk of your syllabus. And for that, people who, I do not know how many of you are interested in reading general kind of stuff. These are the kind of books that we actually recommend for general reading. जैसे आपका mains हो गया, after your mains you have some time before your interview. These are the kind of books, but we incorporate these books as a part of your syllabus. This is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's book, Annihilation of caste. No? There are several such books, जैसा कि though I did not get today, books written by Dr. Radhakrishnan on Hinduism. So variety of stuff is there which we try to incorporate in your course. ठीक है, and देखते हैं और कुछ questions हैं बाकी. So what books to study? I have given you the answer. Where to start studying? I have told you. And then what is the importance of diagrams? हाँ, ये एक बात हो गई. People keep asking me this. I am not good at drawings. Your drawing should not be so very classic. आपको स्केल से लाइन डालना आता है? स्केल लगाकर, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं चाहिए. And then you have a protractor. With the protractor, can you draw a circle? That's it. You don't need more than that. मैं एक ट्रिक बताती हूँ. People actually ask me this. We can't draw the skulls, and how are we supposed to do archaeology? ठीक है. Everything said and done, you might be learning 3 or 4 skulls in the entire discussion of anthropology. And उसमें भी अगर आपको लगता है कि मुझे ठीक से नहीं आ रहा है, the key is that your labeling should be proper. आपका diagram कैसा भी हो, how many of you can draw the India as India? फिर भी we are able to understand that you have drawn India map, है ना? It's as simple as that is. But the thing is, the thumb rule is, for every question there has to be one picture or some kind of a diagrammatic representation, some kind of a visual representation. That may be a table, that may be a flow chart, that may be a map, that may be any other picture. These 4 should be there in some form or the other in your paper. So don't really worry, don't have such kind of an inhibition that see I cannot draw this kind of a thing. जितने भी pictures draw करना है वो आप class में practice करोगे, घर पर भी practice करोगे, and then some kind of as part of archaeology, some artifacts you have to draw, है ना? Can you draw a hand axe? Hand axe, you understand? Axe draw कीजिए. कैसे draw करते हो hand axe? Parshurama's hand axe. Parshuram ka hand axe, you know, right? Huh? We use a lot of weapons in Telugu film industry. South Indian film industry is known for variety of. Come बताइए. If you're drawn, show me. Lift your paper and show. Lift your paper and show. Where is your hand axe? Show me. Beautiful. Though the shape of it, look at it. So when I'm saying that you will be drawing some pictures for your archaeology segment, when I say this, what is so difficult in that? So at the most you draw certain stone tools looking like that. So do not have any unnecessary fears. पहले fear बाहर निकालो, because ultimately we are looking at this. Syllabus कम नहीं है, syllabus ज़्यादा है. That is a major issue with the subject. But then it is simple to understand. You have concrete information. The information can be used to mold the content for the final examination. And in the exam, understand this, that almost 50% of the questions are not direct questions. You are supposed to dovetail your information according to the necessity. These are in a nutshell the idea. And our course, I have told you what material we would be providing. You would be having a minimum of 2.5 hours of lecture, and then from time to time I would be giving you assignments which you would be self-assessing. General practice is that after every 20 classes we release an assignment, and that assignment I would be discussing in the class. You do the self-evaluation, and then generally after every 20 classes you are going to have a test, and the test we would be evaluating and providing the inputs for you, and towards the end of the course you would be having the comprehensive kind of tests. Our Whether you are an online student or offline student, we have a doubts corner in place in the portal where you can put your doubts. इधर भी आप पूछ सकते हो. कभी कभी ऐसा है ना कि once you go back home when you are studying only then you get doubts, so you can put your doubts on the doubts corner. I would respond from there. And जब आप टेस्ट लिखते हो तो you generally upload on the portal only, whether it is online or offline class. I generally evaluate in the soft copy, so you would be doing that. और क्या है? You can ask questions. Raise your hand. You can ask questions. कुछ और तमन्ना है, ख्वाहिश है?
How come anthropology is useful when we are into the service?
पहली बात यह है कि आपको सर्विस में जाना है ना? सर्विस में जाने के लिए चाहिए. सर्विस में जाने के बाद आप अपने बॉस को समझना है तो चाहिए, एंड अंडरस्टैंड द पीपल्स प्रॉब्लम्स चाहिए. बट देन वी आर नॉट चूजिंग ए सब्जेक्ट फ्रॉम द परस्पेक्टिव दैट हाउ इज इट यूजफुल आफ्टर गेटिंग इनटू सर्विस. जब आपको जो चाहिए गवर्नमेंट सिखाएगी आपको, आपके ट्रेनिंग में जो भी सिखाना है सिखाएगी. बट इन ऑर्डर टू गेट इनटू द service, we would be looking at this.
One more question. Do interviewer give marks based on the optional subject we choose?
It all depends on, yeah, from your optional subject questions would be asked. ऐसा नहीं कि तुमने ये सब्जेक्ट लिया इसलिए तुमको अच्छे मार्क्स मिलेंगे. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. जैसा कि संस्कृत लिटरेचर मैंने लिया, so because he likes Sanskrit literature he doesn't give me marks. It is not on that basis, based on the questions and how you are answering your questions. So board will not be partial towards one particular optional. So don't worry about that. लुत्फ लेते हुए पढ़ो. And after this you have some more demos coming up, 10:30 supposed to be, because it is 10:45 or so. So the next demo you would be having will be in the subject of geography. Those, ji sir, ma, please pass on the mic.
How much of the GS syllabus can be covered in this option?
That is one criteria which people might see. See, there are topics like, disadvantaged sections like SC, ST, OBC kind of thing. And then that's where Indian society related stuff, developmental programs, tribal developmental programs, that's where you get a commonality, and maybe perhaps census related kind of a thing. But I don't think a huge amount there in Indian society related stuff and social issues when it comes to your mains papers. Other than that, I don't think a major chunk would be there. But only thing you will be looking at is out of 500 what I am going to get. It is not based on what is the percentage it might be covering in general studies paper. That may be a lacuna.
May I know the static part and dynamic part of this subject?
See, there are certain things like, from time to time when articles are being published, the ones that seem to be static would emerge as a dynamic entity. So it all depends on what kind of writings have appeared in the recent past. Say for example, epidemiological studies, disease studies in anthropology. At one point of time there used to be a static information, but then with researchers coming up, anthropological work coming up, and in the current times of pandemic, that discipline, that part of the subject which was almost a dead letter seems to be more vibrant currently. So what is in the news, based on that the current things would emerge. It's not like, I put this whole thing in static, this whole thing in dynamic. It is not that way. So it depends on how the kind of articles are published in that particular year, we try to give you. But basic concepts तो आपको सीखना है. अब ये बात अलग है कि कभी-कभी concepts का भी अलग मतलब निकाला जाता है. I mean different perspective they try to give of the same concept. So barring that, conceptual clarity रखिए. As far as your syllabus is concerned, based on what kind of researches are appearing in that particular year, the questions become dynamic.
When to take the coaching? If I were to write the civils by 2022 or 2023, then when to take coaching? Is it good that I take now?
Generally, you know, if when the student starts, the closest kind of time that we give is about 1.5 years. ठीक है, 1.5 years पहले आपको start करना है, so that no, for example, in the June of 2022, if you want to write June of 2022, so it will be somewhere in the November of 2020, so that 1.5 years of no gap will be there. So initially you are doing maybe perhaps your optional along with some kind of general studies segment, and general studies would continue, and after you finish your classroom guidance etc. in 11 months time or so along with your tests, you should be having about 4 to 5 months of time for your own self study and for your tests writing etc. So 1.5 years is the most ideal time kind of. कुछ लोग होते हैं जो ग्रेजुएशन फर्स्ट ईयर से करें, 11th 12th से करें, आजकल 5th क्लास से भी कर रहे, बट कीपिंग दैट असाइड 1.5 years इज द गुड टाइम टू स्टार्ट.
Ma'am, in last 3-4 years, like anthropology has done so good, and it has passed like mathematics also, and people are getting so many marks. What's the reason behind?
एग्जामिनर इज काइंड. अब तुम फल खाओ ना. क्यों पेड़ गिनना? Don't know, I mean, maybe people are doing good, maybe students are doing extremely good, that examiner has no choice but to give marks. हो सकता है kind of. अब इसका कोई अलग मतलब निकाले कि यूपीएससी इसको ज़्यादा बढ़ावा दे रही है, इसको कम करना है, kind of a thing. These are all the stories that we have been hearing right from the Lithic ages kind of. जब अच्छा है तो you have to. जी सर.
Ma'am, can we get the guidance from the institution for the dynamic topics, ma'am?
When I do in the class, I would be adding, sir.
Now, if I take coaching now, and I will be writing in 2022, then the dynamics topics will be changed right now. So, if I approach the institution again for the dynamic topics, will you provide?
ऐसा है, इसमें 2-3 चीज़ें हैं, ठीक है. One way of keeping you posted about something new is in our various media channels, जैसा टेलीग्राम हो गया या फिर YouTube में छोटे छोटे recordings हो गए, और maybe perhaps through some mechanism we would be posting certain articles which are recent which you should be studying. ये एक हो गया. And second thing is that this year we were planning to do, because students were asking for because of the paucity of time, I had dropped, I did not take up that idea basically, but students were asking for this कि 10-15 दिन का एक short course हो, जहाँ पर whatever recent case studies are there, recent researches are there, those we can put in those 10 or 12 days of thing. That I think I would be contemplating, so that whatever that we are posting to you on a time to time basis, and several other things which I can compile and bring it down to the 10 or 12 days of course. Maybe perhaps next year, God willing, we would be able to do. I think that should help. So, can I close the session? If anything else is there, I would be in the office. You can meet me personally if you would have to ask any questions, and take a 5-minute break, then we would have the other demo coming up. अच्छा, और एक मुझे बताना था, थोड़े टाइमलाइंस, मतलब जो बैचेस का इंफॉर्मेशन है, that I would write here so that you would have an idea about it. Various batches that are coming up. ये तो कल ही इनॉग्रेशन हुआ था इसका. We are doing especially CSAT because of the kind of things that have come up this year. Students were having sleepless nights. ये हो गया 16 December. If at all you choose Telugu literature, 18 December, geography on 28 December, sociology 28 December. ये dates याद रखिएगा. I mean, we will anyway be posting these dates to you because, you know, if at all you have registered and your numbers are there with us, we would be helping you out with that. So as far as my course is concerned, these two, based on the other optional subjects, you may perhaps note, and for further details, you may perhaps consult the office. And that's all. Thank you so much.